Epstein may or may not have done something. Huh? No Epsteins in my stream. No Epsteins. All right. So, are we live? Are we working?
Yep, it's working.
Okay, it looks like we're live, and this is working. Hello, people. So today I'm going to try and do this a little differently. I can't answer the questions as they show up on the screen because it requires I constantly interrupt myself. So I will read them after they show up on the screen, but this way it allows me to actually keep a train of thought going and not be constantly forget things. So to start with here, this entire construction situation reminds me of about 8 years ago when I hired a web design firm, and they set up my site so that it would authorize rather than authorize and capture. They changed the setting, and I actually tried on my own upgrading from, I believe, Magenta 1.4 to Magenta 1.5 and applying those patches to see if it was something that they had to actually go in and do themselves or if it automatically does it. And it seems like somebody did have to go in and do that. And we realized that it was not that my site was a little too late, was refunding people after 6 or 7 days. And even though it was a short time period, due to the high volume of sales, that was $30K out the door. And I remember coming home, I remember it was actually Thanksgiving of 2011 and finding this out, and my heart sunk. I felt terrible. I thought, oh my God, I ruined my business. I ruined the only opportunity that I had to do something. I am an idiot. I just fucked this up. I don't deserve anything. And I came home and I was moping until about 2 or 3 in the morning. And then at some point, around 4, I just felt, this doesn't actually do anything. So I opened a spreadsheet. And in the spreadsheet, what I did was I looked up every single order number, what was ordered, what was paid, the delivery address, the tracking number said it was delivered with a little, and then I put a message that said, as you can see, if you check this PayPal transaction ID, it was fully refunded. Here's a link to an invoice that you can pay if you did receive it and everything's okay. And I had this put together in Excel. Like I put all the little blocks of info in there, and then I just copied and pasted it out in the last cell with the formula. And here's the subject of the email address, and the body. And I did this for every single one. Why are you trying to read this? I did this for every single one. And at the end of this entire mess, I actually wound up finding someone in the building who was also like to stop by the studio that I was using. And he, for $1,700, said, I do collections for Capital One. I'll help you out on the side. And he helped me recover about $20,000 of that $30,000. I learned 2 lessons from that. The first is that even if you're talking about items that cost anywhere from $30 to $70, 33% of your customers, if they're able to get something out of you for free and not pay for it, and there's no real consequences, they'll do it. Great. Lovely way to see the world. But B is that if you mope and you go, oh man, I made a mistake. What am I going to do? You don't actually get anywhere. Whereas if I look back on it 8 years ago, if I actually let that feeling get to me and I really let it grind my bones in, I would have, I wouldn't have created board repair stuff. I wouldn't have done virtually any of the stuff that I do now. When I realized this happened, I actually, if you look at my YouTube channel, when the data was created, it was created right around that time. One of the reasons was I felt so guilty for the fact that I screwed up a good opportunity that I had. I thought that if I ever do wind up getting through this, and I do wind up not going back to Modell Sporting Goods and putting price tags on basketballs while living with 5 roommates or going back to live with a family member or something, that I owed it to the world of people who didn't have the opportunity that I did, that then screwed it up, to give them information for them to succeed. At the very least, if I'm going to be a fuck up, once I get out of this, maybe that'll absolve my guilt. Because even though I was able to actually fix everything, I recovered 20 of the 30K, I got through it, and my business was good. And it just kept growing and growing and growing on from there. I still felt an extreme sense of guilt. It's like, you had this great opportunity. You built something. You had people who were working for you, who were doing a good job. You had a business, and this is what you did with it? You fucking moron. And the sense of guilt, I remember at the time, was one of the driving forces that caused me to start a channel and share all my business mistakes, all the things I did wrong, how to do the things that I do, maybe teach and give away some stuff for free. Because at the time, I remember feeling like, I don't deserve any of this. Why should I have the knowledge that I have when this is what I do with it, when this is who I hire. And it's very similar because I felt the same way when I realized that I had put that I had hired a total jackass that screwed up everything. And one of the things that really helped me was remembering that experience and just, well, you know, you don't get anywhere with that. One of my friends who also worked for the individual that recommended me the garbage contractor and said he was a good referral, said honestly, you could beat yourself up by all means, go for it. You probably earned some of it, but just think about how many people after something like that are going to wind up just wind up moving to the middle of nowhere and just giving up on business, getting a small little, piece of land and just, I'm done with it. All right, so the lesson there is when something like this happens, you have to imagine that it happens, accept that it happens, but fix it. I got somebody who sent me a message today saying, "How do you deal with that type of stress?" Well, you don't think about the stress. You don't think about the problem. You work on fixing the problem. All right, so let's see what we have here today. I'm gonna get started. So, Lewis, are you still looking for a Herculite door, aka glass, for the main entrance to the tech area? CRL is your way to go. Not at the moment. One of the things I'm realizing is that some people were suggesting that we have a wall in the front, but my own website, especially when I go back on the Wayback Engine, Wayback Machine, is that for so long I was promoting this idea of having an open space, of not having this, we're going to take your stuff to a back room and you're not going to get to see it. And then I kind of went away from that with time. When I built the store, I actually didn't want the wall that separates the middle room from the front room. But the guy said, "Oh yeah, we had some extra materials, so we figured you'd want a wall, so we put it up." It's like, what the? Don't get me wrong. The guy who helped me build this store is 10 times better than a fucking Eugene. But I wasn't exactly a fan of that wall going there. And this is an opportunity to go back to my roots and go back to what the business was supposed to be like from the get-go. No wall. How goes the lawsuit against garbage contractor? Oh, I made a pinned comment in the Day 41 video with Amos's partner. There's no point in that. This guy cashes his checks at a check cashing place, which is probably charging him a 3 to 5% fee. Who does that unless they know that money deposited in their bank account is not going to be money that they have access to? Don't delay cat today. That's strange. Why are you trying to read this? Just keep talking. Love the videos, love the cats, keep educating the world. Will do. Have you gotten any estimate from contractors now? No need for pricing, info, just a yes or no is fine. I got one from Sonny. So Sonny is the gentleman that was at Practical Board Repair School, and he was also an ex-employee of mine that actually got me a phone for my birthday the year after I fired him, which was crazy to me. But he actually got a license for contracting, and he's an actual honest-to-God licensed contractor now, and he feels bad for what happened, and he's been, I want to say acquaintance, because he's acted to me like a friend, but I haven't really maintained the friendship, so I would feel guilty calling him a friend, because I would be kind of abusing the word, and you know how I feel about people abusing the F word. But he, even though I don't think I necessarily earned or deserved it, he said, I'd like to just do this for cost to help you out. And he gave me a price, and there are details that we have to walk through. And also, I haven't actually recorded a walkthrough with him. I want to record a walkthrough with him just for the benefit of all of you, and also so that you can point out things that may be correct or incorrect. I have not heard back from Jin, the Albanian contractor. I didn't expect to for a while. And there was the Brenner Contracting. I haven't heard back from them yet, but they said they'd have a feeling about it after this week. I left a link in the video for those who are curious who Sonny is. He's a good dude. How do you feel about after having the shit construction? I think I explained that part. Just go on, move on. So let's also I'm reading this stuff as it. I'm gonna do my best to answer a question and then read the stuff after, so that after it shows up on screen. So, do you think you'll be able to get your money back from Eugene in commercial court because you're hiring a contractor? No. If I give him a check for $11,000, he takes it to a check cashing facility. Who pays a 3 or 5% fee to cash a check rather than deposit in the bank? Do you pay $500 fees to cash your checks? No, you don't, because you probably don't have liens on you from the IRS, Department of Labor. Everybody else, in my opinion, of course. I'm only saying that because I see them listed as creditors. For all I know, that website could be inaccurate or old, but something tells me, again, my opinion, if you're still taking those types of actions now, it's most likely because you know that there's no way for you to ever deposit money in an account because it's going to go to all the people that you owe. What do you think of DEF CON? I've never been, but one of the people that watches my channel is in Discord every now and then, Zcoin, he's, by the way, thank you so much for the free PBX help he's given me. He's way better at a lot of the stuff than I am. He's been instrumental in helping me out. He goes to the conference, and he has good things to say about it. And just after meeting him at one of the meetups that we did, if you go to meetup.com, you'll see there's actually a Rossmann Repair meetup where I will meet with fans every now and then. There's no cover charge or any of that kind of horse shit. We just go to a restaurant that I like and hang out and talk. He's, you know, if he's the caliber of person that goes to DEF CON, then I definitely want to check it out. Although I most likely would be the idiot in the room. But it's every now and then it's good to be the idiot in the room. You learn something. Giving up small piece of land remote sounds too much like here, says Paul Daniels. Yeah. And you know what? Paul Daniels seems to live a good life. Maybe there's nothing wrong with that. Speaking of wrong with that, I can see where 2 of the LED bulbs in my fixture are starting to blink. I've dropped the thing too many times. Why do you apply solder to pads when desoldering? Because the lead solder is going to melt at a lower temperature than the lead-free, which means I can put less heat on the board, which means less damage to everything else. Or potential for damage, I should say, not less damage.
Hey, did you read Paul's comment? The one, the person who brought the food reserve?
I'm not there yet, Erica.
Oh no, it popped up already.
I know. Oh. Yeah, I'm not up to that yet. Good to see you in good spirits. Thank you, Travis. Yes, worry about fixing the problem, don't look back. Indeed. Paul says, hi, Lewis. I brought the Woodford Reserve bourbon by and everything fell apart. How can I fix that? Do you like bagels and lox? I don't eat lox, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. I stopped drinking. Apparently, the people that I gave the liquor to also had stopped drinking. So, but I thought it was a good idea so that I wouldn't drink, and also maybe they would be, realize, oh wow, this guy's not that bad. He won't even. Let's do a good job for him. That turned around. That's not your fault. But thank you very much. Hi, Teresa. You're the stalker. She's not a stalker. No wall. I never liked the wall in the first place. Send to your email as well, but on last update, here's where you get cheaper ladder rack cable trays. Thank you. Holy sh! That has to be a bug. It says anonymous. Thank you. Holy crap. Wow. Have you considered doing the work yourself? That would go as well as if you walk into the I think a genius at the Genius Bar could do BGA rework themselves better than I could do construction. Demolition, yes. I have considered doing some demolition myself. Let's just call that some good old-fashioned therapy. Bridge OS 3.5, bug type 210, constant kernel panic from T2 touch bar. Any idea? No idea, man. I'm sorry. I made there's somebody I'd like to ask that question to, and I'm going to pass that question on to them, okay? I'm going to pass that question on to somebody, and we'll see if we get somewhere. Will you consider joining Flowplane? I think it would help you get back the small channel feel, as only people who really care will see the videos and leave comments on there. Just the thoughts. It's Hammy. I think what I really need to do is just pay less attention to the garbage. Because there really is a genuinely overwhelming amount of constructive stuff on here and positive stuff. But even if only 0.1% of it is bad, that still comes out to 5 to 30 shitty things a day. It's just my job to not focus on it. I don't like the idea of there being a paywall. All right. How many contractors do you still plan to check? I have one more walkthrough to do with Sonny. Again, he already did give me a quote, but I just want to have the interview with him and for YouTube as well. But yeah, so far there were 3 in mind that we were considering. The default option was Sonny, but we decided to. The landlord of the building said, I really suggest that you speak with this person. One of the things that bothered me a little about the Day 40 video is that a lot of people were saying, I can't believe you had 3P. You were going there without your scope of work and everything written out. This is so terrible. Like, the landlord literally said, we would like you to show up, even if you don't have that yet. You need to meet this person right now. Meet him. So he did what he said. It's like, okay. I'd rather meet him than not meet him. And there was like that's not obvious. Obviously, what we did there is not that we didn't give him just like a piece of paper with a couple of drawings on it and say, here, go, do what we talked about. But anyway, will you do more videos in philosophy or psychology? I don't know if I'm qualified to. How many contractors you plan to check? We're hoping to get 3 people. The thing is, it seems like Jin is the one that's most recommended by the building and the building manager. And the building manager has obviously the most experience with this, as he owns over 60 buildings and he's been doing this for 35 years. Brenner has the best Yelp reviews and the best Google reviews. So he has the best public-facing record, which most contractors don't have good websites at all. That's why when people said the Eugene's website sucked, you have no idea how many websites like that suck. I have a old friend of mine that was a business partner a long time ago. He has a business where he's doing construction on those $50,000 a year preschools where they're putting in $37,000 separators in the fucking bathroom stalls. And his website is like one step above Eugene's. They just don't put any effort into it. But because that's usually not where they're getting their money from at that point. I forget where I started with that. Sound from the speakers has gone fuzzy. Sound through ear jack is fine. Huh. Sounds like bad speakers. So where it goes here is Brenner Construction has the best outward-facing reviews. They seem to have the most to lose if they do a bad job reputation-wise, because they actually solicit business from the Yelp and the Google stuff. Jin seems to have the most experience and have the best recommendations from the people who have the most experience. But if he fucks me over, it's like, I don't get business for this way anyway. Sonny is the most trusted because I've known Sonny for almost 10 years. And if he screws me over, it's like, I know where his store is. I know where he lives. I know the people that he likes and cares about. It's like there's a reputation there. Like with Eugene, if he screws me over, we don't travel in the same circles. If Jin or Brenner if Brenner screws me over, they care about the Yelp and Google stuff. If the building contractor screws me over, the one that was recommended by the building, they don't care at all because, he has a building manager that manages 61 buildings. He's going to be busy regardless of what the hell I say about him. Sonny is and so that's where I am with this. Sonny is essentially the most trusted because I've known him for the longest amount of time, and he also has the most to lose if he does a bad job because we go to the same conferences, we know the same people. There's that general, like if Sonny screwed me over in a terrible, terrible way, if and ran off with something, like not that he's going to do that. I know he's not going to do that, but you get the idea. Like people like Jess or Chris Long would go, "Hey man, that's wrong," and that would actually hurt him in a way. Not even, I don't mean hurt like this. I mean hurt as in it would hurt his heart. So those are the 3 people, and those are the 3 pros and cons the way I see it right now. But we will see and judge the rest going forward. Let's see. Has anybody asked about the Miku boxes in the background? You know what I find really strange is that everybody's been saying, I've been watching for 8 years. I had no idea Lewis was a weeb. This can't possibly have anything to do with the fact that he just started dating somebody that has a bunch of pink little anime things everywhere.
How about the blanket? Isn't that yours?
This is not my fucking blanket. This is not mine. I don't have anything to do with this. I think if you use Sonny, you'll meet another Eugene. I don't think so. I've met Sonny and worked with him in the past on other things. No, not nearly as big, but he's not a Eugene. Not anywhere near. Have you considered letting the IRS know that you gave Eugene money? Does that really matter? I mean, like, he's listed as a creditor in his bankruptcy page. I'm pretty sure the IRS is fully aware of him, that he exists, and I'm pretty sure they've done many things to him to get him to the point where he's cashing $11,000 checks just to avoid putting stuff in the bank and claiming assets. What Apple product would you suggest I buy? I've actually bought an Apple product before. They're rechargeable AA batteries. I used to use them on my microphone, and you know how the ones that I have right now when I'm doing live streams drop out? Those never did. I will say that whatever batteries Apple had on their site, those AA rechargeables, were not bad. Outside of that, fine any of that crap. What's your opinion of the ThinkPad P51? I haven't tried it, but if it's anything close to the P50, I like it. Still has removable battery. We would love to interview you on our podcast as Cyber Libertarian. Email me at lewis@rossmangroup.com, as long as you don't get salty about the fact that I get back to you at the pace that someone who has 800 unread emails in their inbox gets back to you. I would love to speak with you. I was supposed to have an interview with Larry Sharp in May of last year, but that did not work out because of how busy things got. I feel bad about it because I did want to speak with him. But Larry Sharp actually wanted to come on the show for an interview. I thought that was awesome. But I remember having banners on the bottom of my video that said, "Consider Larry Sharp for governor," because unlike Mr. Cuomo, he doesn't try to pretend he's a dictator. I have a 3-year-old kitten in Chaplin, so I need to function, which helps. Look at this cat. I wonder if that's visible on screen. I need to get a second monitor so it's easy to see that.
What do you need to say?
First time joining. Thank you very much, Gar. I appreciate that. You have a good head on your shoulder. You know when you fuck up or don't be thorough enough. It's all good. My head's been better. Wait, that doesn't sound right. I have had a better head on my shoulders in the past than now. Okay. Some general contractors don't have websites and it's all word of mouth. Yeah. Eugene's website is 1,000 times better than the one where I work. Hasn't been updated since the early 2000s, and we're an aerospace contractor. Yeah, that's the thing. Having a bad website doesn't necessarily mean you're a bad company. It can actually mean that your company is so well positioned that you don't have to care about your public reputation, which is actually pretty gangster if you think about it. Oh, stop complaining in my chat, Tommy. Bye-bye. Dave, that's likely not going to happen, unfortunately. Okay, but was it Sonny that laid the bad floor in the old office? No, that wasn't him. He actually helped me with the floor in the old office because Paul Daniels said, "Nasty bruise in the arm there, is that your fault?" Oh no, this is so there's this what's the word? Conditioning training where like I take my arm and he takes his, and then you have to do this, that, this, and you do the wrist, this part, and I accidentally did it like over here on the side rather than there, and that's why my arm is just a total steaming yellow pile. I have a I've enjoyed it because I'm kind of good at the thing I do now, but I really suck at that, and it's kind of good, especially if you are at a point where you're either the head of a company or you have a YouTube channel with 1 million subscribers. Every now and then it's good to try something that you suck at and get a reminder that you suck at it and start from scratch doing something new. I got really, really good at the studio thing to the point where I could change Neve VRP switches with my eyes closed. I got really good at doing all that stuff. And then I started over with MacBook boards at the bottom, like no clue about anything, no clue with anything surface mount, and I had to get started all the way from scratch, and it really humbles you, but also kind of makes sure that your brain is nimble, you have the ability to take in new information, adapt to new things. I've really enjoyed that with the martial arts instructor that I met. It's funny because I met my martial arts instructor because he recognized me because he had been fucked over by Apple. And he came up to me while I was working at the gym to tell me his story about it. And that's how we met and became friends. Small world. If it wasn't for Apple, my arm would not be black and blue right now. He's lying. The blanket is totally his. Send Siri, send Siri, send, suspend Siri, send the message Siri. What is wrong with this thing? Siri, send. Huh. Why, thank you. You're inspiring. Cheers. Thank you, Piotr. It is cute the things a guy tolerates for someone he cares for. My husband puts up with a lot. Oh, you got to see the next video then. You want to see the shit I put up with for someone that I love and care about? Wait till you see the next video. I'm not going to spoil it. but oh. I don't want to remind. Your core philosophies and rants playlist are great. I put my headphones on and let them play. It makes the workday fly by. I second more of them. Well, a lot of those videos come from real life mistakes. And what I was mentioning in the beginning is that one of the things that inspired me to start the channel was when I realized that I was this close to just wiping out my entire business in 3.5 years or 4 years of nonstop work over one stupid mistake. I felt like I didn't earn the opportunities that I had, and that I hadn't earned anything that I felt like I didn't deserve any of what I had. And that at the I felt like it was, what was the word I'm looking for? I felt a sense of duty to help other people at least catch up to where I had been, so that they, with good judgment, would be able to, make good on the opportunities that I screwed up in life. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I wish I could tell a younger me. There's a lot of things 32-year-old me would like to tell 30-year-old me. It would help the IRS build a bigger case against him. Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, do you want to invite that into your life? Because that's the thing. I helped the IRS build a case against Eugene. I've done videos where I talk about how I modded PlayStations to play modded games when I was a kid. Was I filing 1099s when I was 9, 10 years old? It's like the IRS is very, very good at ruining people's lives. And it's one of those things where I do believe in karma. I do think that Eugene is going to get his. Somebody's going to screw him the way he screwed me. I don't need to expedite that process by inviting something into my life that is, in my opinion, in many ways designed to destroy people. It's really interesting because I speak to Anna about this. She actually deals with the UK government when it comes to helping businesses get these types of tax credits or grants. And it's very different in the UK, because in the United States, I will get something that says, we did not receive a Schedule C for this period. We will just assume that you owe us $450,000 as the maximum penalty or something. It's not even like you asked nicely. It's just ridiculously threatening letter from the very get-go. Whereas in the UK, they want to help you. They don't want to pummel you and beat you under something. And the difference is that when she was showing me what the interactions are like, it's just, damn. I'm not saying that I'm a big fan of any particular tax agency or anything, but the differences were seemingly night and day. And speaking from personal experience, bankruptcy does not protect you should the IRS decide to make you a target. Not having any money on the books kind of protects you, I imagine. But what was my point with that? Yeah, I don't feel, it just feels weird inviting the IRS into something like that. Because I pay my employees in the books. I don't do that cash no tax shit that people in New York City are asking me for all the time. I actually have a video where I'm wearing a name tag that says fuck off with that cash no tax shit. I explained it 5 years ago. I don't do any of that. I really don't. But there's also tens of thousands of pages of tax law. And do I really want to invite that type of karma into my life where they go, on page 27,851, it says you're supposed to do this and you did that. It's no. So the IRS, yeah, Generation XT is right. The IRS is fully aware that Eugene exists. Let them, and I'm sure they've done their due diligence there.
Okay, question. What is the queue time for mail-in repairs right now?
If someone sends in a machine, the queue time depends on what you send. If you send a straightforward screen replacement, we'll get to it. If you send in a battery replacement, we get to it. If you send in a missing PM Sleep S5L and PM Sleep S4L pulsing with no liquid damage, it'll get done when Eugene pays me back. It really depends on what you send. So the queue depends on how difficult what you have is.
And also, can someone pay you to clean the inside of their MacBook?
They can do that themselves with compressed air. But let me read. I have a queue. I have order. Come on. This is just going to turn into you reading me questions 2 minutes ahead of where I am at that point. I talked with Larry Sharp a few months ago. Great guy. Wish his ideas could be pursued. Yeah, I feel really fucked up for the fact that I never had time to interview him. Business just kept going up and up and up, and I was training new people and hiring new people, and I was never able to schedule an interview with him. And I feel really bad about that because he did reach out in good faith, and I ignored the email because there were so many unread emails in the inbox. I had to prioritize things, and just having an interview with a political figure that had just lost an election was just not at the top of my list at the moment. But I definitely could have been. Been more. What's the word? More responsive to the guy. What is something you enjoy doing that others may find weird? I like Huh. What do I like doing? I don't know. I like listening to Dream Theater. I like messing with my electric bike even though I don't know what I'm doing. I like restoring and collecting old speaker systems. What's the biggest mess up you did in a board repair? Look at Rossmann Rewinds, 2019, the beginning of it. 1 volt and 3 volts and... Wow. I did that once in the microscope and I wound up burning my nose. Have you seen the new X1 Fold concept laptop from CES 2020? No. I don't pay attention to CES. And you're gone. Can you use self-leveling concrete to fix a 2009 Mac Pro that doesn't post? Most likely you have a failing MCP79. You can confirm that your MCP79 is failing by heating it up to 130 Celsius for 90 seconds. I'm going to read a little bit faster. Longtime viewer with a question, what's the best way to set up a brand new soldering iron? What do you mean set up? You put it on your table and you turn it on. I don't quite understand. When do we see the Tereba mail time box opening bonanza? No Tereba. No. No. Do you have a Discord community? I do. What are donations for? Donations are for my cocaine habit. That's why I sniff so much. You felt like an imposter for your success, but figured you could pay it forward. Exactly. What happened to Hi Hi? Hi Hi's been going to school, so he's been showing up less and less. His schedule is about 1 day a week, so he'll edit a couple of board repair videos for me. Every 7,222nd person on Earth is subscribed to Lewis. Remember that. That'll make me view things very differently. Why aren't you religious? Because people who are religious spam my chat. No, I don't know. I'm not. Don't spam my chat. Come on, man. Don't copy and paste stuff. Ask once and then stop. Let's see. How are squats going? Meh. You know what's really interesting? I actually copied and pasted this to my old trainer. I sent like a good 6 months, and I said, can you guess from this schedule what point it was I was dealing with lying and scamming realtors, and what point I hired a shitty contractor? You could graph it. You could see just by graphing how much I was doing in squats that day, or bench press, or curls, or deadlifts, or bent over rows, or whatever. You could actually see the arc of the stress in my life. It's interesting. But yeah, I don't post that shit. It's just like I'm not very athletic. I could work with the trainer for a year and a half, and he's literally saying most of the same stuff to me now that he was then, because I have poor proprioception. So I'm not very good at. It's not even that I'm knowingly doing it wrong. I don't even know that I'm doing it wrong until I physically see it. So it's just going to be a comment section of a bunch of people going, "Why don't you do it perfectly?" Because that's the internet. Why did you hire a half-assed contractor? Because he came as a positive referral from someone that had a business for about 13 years that gave me one of my first real jobs in Manhattan, and said, this person will sort you out and give you a good deal. Well, he did sort me out. Have some more of my Play Store credit. Thank you, Michael Acquaintance. I remember your name from a long time ago. Thanks for sharing what you do. Thank you, Slayer. Best place for dinner date in New York City. Blossom on 9th Avenue and I think around 22nd Street. Did you get my email with flooring info? I have about 700 unread emails with flooring info. I'm sorry. I appreciate it. I am reading through them as quickly as I can. Let's see. Yes, I got yours. This is, there's many. Yes, I got yours. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Cow goes moo, says Demented Paintballer. Thank you, Demented Paintballer, by the way, for reaching out with some quality construction help. He gave some genuinely harsh, but needed and quality criticism in some recent videos, and I appreciated reading through all his comments. I'm actually learning quite a bit from them. Thank you. You have mentioned that your winter gloves don't work well. Have you tried bike handlebar gloves? I haven't, but New York City, being New York City, went from 17 degrees to 64 degrees in a week or so I don't need them anymore at the moment. We're just going to pretend there's no more winter now. Smashing white van speakers with a hammer as well. Huh? I could stand Dream Theater would be best if James Labrie just decided that he wanted to be an accountant in 1992. Like if in 1991 or 1992 James Labrie thought, you know what? Maybe I should fix motherboards for a living. I think that their music would be considerably higher quality. I like the band, but my God. Fix a Mac, just one tonight. I uploaded a video of that yesterday. We're working. I'm actually uploading another one from the store today that was encoding, but it's slow. If Apple suddenly made their products easily repairable, modular, and they're rarely broke, would you be more happy for society or upset for business? Happy for society. There's other things that I can do. The only way that I would be upset if Apple started treating their customers well is if I believed I had no other value in society. Like, are there not other problems that need solving in the world? Is there no other place that I could apply my brain or my resources or my whatever it is that I have to? Tonight I'm really bad at coming up with words. But surely I could apply myself somewhere else in life if Apple's products were easily fixable or just not around anymore. Been here since 20K. Strive to be a better human because of your content. Therefore, you got money. Thank you very much, Michael Acquaintance. I appreciate having you around. That means you joined around December of 2015. Awesome. I can't believe the minefield of crap you have to tiptoe through to get a new store. Indeed. When is your birthday? My birthday is November 19th. I don't do board repair, but I've supported Mac users. The Rossmann Realty series is worth at least the price of a Midwest movie ticket. Thanks for the emotional roller coaster. Thank you, M. Lindell. Staples has been ads the tech dry. What do you think? Yeah, I think that Erica has been cheating on me with a tech dry person recently, too. You'll see in the next video. Finally, a way to use Google Play credit. Thank you, Travis. I'm just waiting for this live stream to replay itself like the voice over IP bug. I didn't think that was a voice over IP bug. You know how many times I've broken free PBX? I've made it so that phone calls only ring certain extensions. I've made it so that a phone will only pick up, it will not see another call coming in if you're already on a call. I've made it so that your phone call will cut off at 14 minutes and 59 seconds, which is a bug that Steve actually purposely didn't tell me about because he used to say, if a call goes over 15 minutes, it needs to drop anyway, so I didn't think it was a problem. Fucker. But I've broken it to where there's one-way audio. I've screwed up every noob ass shit there is to screw up about free PBX, and I've never heard of calls just randomly repeating themselves. And I really didn't think the guy was going to get review bombed. You know, people have said how you could have potentially destroyed the reputation of that construction company. I said that I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny the way they trolled me. It made me smile. It made me laugh. I'm happy. That causes a review bomb. You know what didn't cause a review bomb? Me showing that an architectural firm did a shit job for over $7,000, has been slow in dragging their feet refunding the $3,000 I paid them. Like, that doesn't bring review bomb, but saying I enjoy what this company did, I think it was funny, they got me, good troll, I laughed, that does. I don't understand the internet. I'll cop to it. I don't understand the internet. I'm clueless. Not that I'm suggesting people review bomb things. It's just, if there was someone to review bomb, why would you review bomb negatively the place that I said, this made me laugh, this made me smile, thank you, over the place where this made me sad, you wasted thousands of dollars of my money and you did a bad job. But again, I don't understand the internet, and I will cop to not understanding the internet. I've sent 20 friends to you for repairs. You're funny, and thank you. Thank you, Mr. Contello. Local artist, would you want a few prints to hang? I have to see what they look like, because some of the stuff that's been submitted has been beautiful, and some of it has been very silly. But I'd love to take a look. Send an email to lewis@rossmangroup.com, as long as you're okay with being in a queue behind the other 800 emails I'm going to get back to answering once I'm done with the stream. The new construction guy seemed real nice and knew what he was doing. Glad you shared. I think too. I think so too. Like, even if they don't wind up doing the job, just the way that Brenner presented themselves to me, they're kind, good people, and I hope the best for them. And I'm really happy that they came by. All hail Lord Saver Oreo. Good evening. Thank you. Good evening from Norway. Hello. Is Erica forcing you to watch anime? No, but she is turning my home into a cartoon. Erica is straight up turning my home into a cartoon.
I'm not turning into Barbies.
Comment suggested it wasn't a bug. It was a scam that intentional cellular carriers used to overcharge people for longer call times. Well, that's interesting. I'd like to learn about that. Rusty Fox says, why not? Thank you, Rusty Fox. Would you like a big box of Toreba or plushies? JP? Arthur Fist meme.
Triggered.
Arthur Fist meme. Do you accept donations in iTunes gift card? I will burn them. I will burn them on camera. When do we get Hatsune Miku figure unboxing? Never. Ever. Screw the haters, they can eat a bag of dicks. Thank you, Brian Ingram. Can you re-upload iPhone 4 repair stream since it was taken down by Sony Music? It was fun. I'm working on, I edited that, and Time Warner's working on getting it uploaded now. You'll see it on Vimeo.com before you see it on YouTube, because I don't care about thumbnails and all that crap on Vimeo. What do you think about Staples advertising, again, of TechDry? I think TechDry is a scam, and I wish I had the time to do a video on how it's a scam. I think it's time I do that. How's the data recovery business going? Steve's still got over 80 drives in his queue, and he'll beat out 3 to 7 of those things a day, and then another 3 to 7 will show up. Do you guys do iPhone XR screen repair? No, not at the moment, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. Staples has been advertising TechDry. What do you think? You don't dry your asshole. You clean your asshole after you take a shit. You don't dry yourself after a 40-minute game of basketball outside at 97 degrees. You clean yourself in a fucking shower. So why is it different with your phone? Why do you dry your phone instead of cleaning it? Scammers. Staples is scamming people left and right with that TechDry bullshit, in my opinion. The new construction guys seem nice. Yep. Did you get best place for dinner? I like goat cheese, says Antoine. Well, good for your taste. When you worked in the studio, did you ever pick up playing an instrument? Oh, no. Would you want to try music if you haven't? Nope. That's not for me. Nope. There are things that are for... My instrument is the soldering iron. I am not musically inclined. I am not a musician. I'm not an artist in that way. There are ways that I'm creative, and there are ways that I express that creativity, and that's mostly related to business and the paths I take in life. It's not with an instrument. That's not for me. The white AA and AAA batteries from IKEA are good. Seems to be the same as N-Loop, only an IMH factory in Japan, and the white ones are made there. What anime would you watch if you had the time? I don't know any animes. The only things I'm as basic as it gets. I know that Pokemon existed, and I know that Sailor Moon existed. I watched several seasons of Sailor Moon as a kid. Max says I like cheese. Well, you would enjoy Antoine, I suppose. Should people worship cats? Do not worship a cat. Is $200 a good deal for a mid-2012 13-inch MacBook Pro? It's not a bad deal. It's just, why would you want to buy a MacBook? Come on. What is the one board repair that you will not do too hard? I don't do CPU replacements just because I don't have the time. It's not that it's difficult. It's difficult to find good chips anywhere. We bought CPUs for the most recent machine. We bought CPUs for the touch bars, and they showed up bent. I wanted to see if we can buy them from Arrow, but that requires getting Hi-Hi to set up an account, and we're working on that. Everybody email hi@rossmangroup.com and remind him to set up an Arrow account. Especially now he said that he has off from school. He has no excuse to not come to work, punch in, and set up an Arrow account. I've been trying to get Hi-Hi to do that for 6 months. hi@rossmangroup.com. Spam the shit out of him and get him to do his job. Oh, man. No, Hi does good work. The second and third burrito from me, says Anthony. Thank you. Okay. Have a third of a burrito on me. Thank you, Arlen. Can I get a job with you when you move stores? Love you, no homo. Because, okay, hundo. If you do a good job, then we would want to talk to you. Report the money you gave Eugene on a 1099, says JP. You know what? I'll have to speak to someone about that. I really will. Have you considered doing another ThinkPad-related video with Trip Code Q7? She's the ThinkPad Queen of G and is pro open source software. What's Trip Code Q7? Is this what I... There was one person who emailed me recently and asked if I would give money to this LibreBoot creator. And then I went down a rabbit hole reading about this individual for a good half hour, and then I had to move on to doing actual work. But I don't know if that's the same person. You're missing an Oreo cat. No, I'm not. I gave him back to his rightful owner.
Oh, you. Oreo is sleeping. He's in the JP bed. He refuses to move.
Christopher Kelly says, don't feel like you owe us anything. Give yourself daily. You provide a service to your viewers. If anything, we owe you. But regardless, thank you for all your videos and inclusion in your life and business. Also, hi. Thank you, Chris. I don't know. I like including people in things. You recommended that thing that's on the end of the steam heater be used to clean Oreo's ass. That's why Oreo's not in the stream. Call carriers can loop the voice over IP packets and play the audio on a loop. International cell carriers will lie when the other person hangs up and keep looping the call to rack up more minutes to charge more money. See original video comments for more info. Well, I hope Amos isn't getting fucked out of into some sort of $3,000 cell phone bill if that's the case. We'll miss you and Paul fighting and banter when you move to new office. Oh, no, we'll find time for that, I'm sure. Have you had many 00165 CPUs die? I have. Indeed, Dan Andre. Sounds like you have the Paul queue. Favorite bands and artists? I like Alice in Chains. I enjoy Nutshell, but I also enjoy listening to We Die Young. Like when you're about to hit the weights. It's something good to play. Have you watched Deku versus Overhaul? I don't know what that is, but thank you, Cyan Solid Snake. How the people still making long distance calls just get discharged. FFS. Discharged?
Discord?
Huh? I don't know if you can easily list that as a phone number on Google Places, which is how I called it Amos. Do you think that if you stay in New York the rest of your life, you stay in New York, I think you would have moved away and not deal with all the stress of building a business there. It's possible, but I could have also dealt with the stress of I'm in a small town and there's no opportunity for me here, and therefore I make no money, therefore I can't pay my rent or my bills and I starve, which is a different form of stress in and of itself, just much less entertaining. Does uploading to Vimeo make you feel like a boomer? Nope, makes me feel like someone who does not trust YouTube or Susan Wojcicki for shit, which is who I am. Is it difficult to teach someone how to read schematics? It depends on who you're teaching, honestly. That's what I notice. Do you plan on amortizing all your expenses you put in the new space? Demo, construction, etc. Amortizing. Belongs. Huh. Trying to find HDMI capture card. Remember you put your equipment in the video description. Still using Magewell. Any opinions? Yeah, I like them. It costs a little more, but it's worth it. Don't buy the Black Magic crap. It's just, you're paying extra for branding. I remember getting a Black Magic card because I wanted to make my YouTube videos seriously and take my quality to the next level when I got a nice microscope camera instead of using a camcorder buff. You know what happened? Didn't fucking work. I contacted Black Magic and they go, oh yeah, that's considered medical HDMI, not broadcast HDMI. It's like, what the fuck is this? What are you talking about, medical versus broadcast HDMI? I have a fucking $60 Acer monitor, and my microscope works plugged into that via HDMI. But your fucking $400 or $500 capture card doesn't? Are you kidding? No, fuck that shit. The Magewell stuff is great. And it also, it glitches less than the StarTech card I have. It glitches a lot less than the Blackmagic card I have, and it just works out of the box. It's beautiful. The Magewell stuff is nice, and you can also have multiple. So I have 2 quad cards in my system. I can have 8 HDMIs going all at the same time, and it never bugs out. The early USB ones that used a micro USB port rather than the standard USB Type A port were shit. Those broke very easily. I was opening mine up and resoldering the connector on once a week. But the new ones the USB ones are decent, but the cards give you more options with regards to color space, and they're beautiful. I like the cards a lot. I have 2 of them. And yes, that card is about $800 or $900, but it's worth it. I wound up getting passive cooling on it. I bought a heatsink from Amazon and a thermal pad, and Paul drilled the holes in the right space in it and set it up so that it's completely silent. Tampons Play On. Playtex has a 360 design and flex fit technology that moves the way you move.
What are you reading?
Somebody posted an advertisement for a tampon. When are you going to make an honest woman out of Pink Senna? I don't know. I think she's going to be an Apple user forever. That's really up to... Can't do much. Apple product user. What bars are you into in New York? Oh, no. That's such a waste of money and time. I would damn near give money to Eugene before I spend time in a bar in New York City. Like, at least if I give money to Eugene, I'm getting poisoned with cortisol rather than poisoned with alcohol. Maybe I'm ignorant on design, how stores function, but wouldn't a store as open as Jeff's design be a security issue with how much inventory is left out in the open? No, because you would have to go behind the counter in order to do that. And the moment you go behind the counter is the moment we kill you. Very simple. If you try to go behind the counter, you get beat. Badly. So that's the way that works. Love your channel. Got inspired to go to computer engineering for school. That's awesome, Technical Mage. And that's what I was talking about in the video where it was 2 years ago. It was about right to repair. It said right to repair is 1% legislation, 99% inspiration. The idea in that video is that what I want to do, I see this as a long game. I'm not going to get companies to change their mind immediately. And let's face it, the way that senators fall asleep and look at and dick around with their phones while we're talking, they're not going to care about what we have to say. Lobbyists are content reading off of a piece of paper in a monotone voice and making stuff up because they know it doesn't matter. The stuff's already decided. But what's going to change things is when the next generation starts working for these companies and they decide, you know what, we're just all going to walk out. Oh, you want to make it so that the only option to fix it is to go through us for $1,500 and you won't sell the charge ship to the repair shops? Fuck you. We're walking out and starting our own company. And that is going to be the next generation. And the next generation that grew up watching... Excuse me, the next generation that grew up watching these videos is not going to accept that. They're not going to be okay with that. They're not going to be cool with it. They're going to start their own companies. They're going to be, when they are get into management or marketing or on the board of these businesses, they're not going to be okay with that anti-repair shit because they grew up and got interested in it. The entire reason they entered the field is because they like what we were doing. So you are showing that there's actually a point to this. Ah, Amos is here and watching. Hello, Mr. Amos. I hope you do not have a $3,000 cell phone bill. So you were not trolling me, but your cell phone company may clearly be trolling you. So please do please do look at that and make sure that you're not getting screwed. So everybody say hi to Mr. Amos Huerta in the chat here. He is the partner in the Brenner Construction from today's earlier walkthrough video and very kind, consummate professional. You know, anti-repair BS has gotten bad when it affects tractors in the agricultural field. Yeah. Unless they sell out, people can offer large money incentives. That's not it, though, because your money doesn't mean anything if your community abandons you. What's your return time to Europe? That depends entirely on customs and the misery of DHL or international service. I'm still ready to fight the contractor that scammed Lewis. Trust me, I understand how you feel. I mean, I was talking about that with my martial arts instructor the other day. It's like every now and then, like, you know, my mind just starts drifting to other ways to get my money back, and it's like, no, you know, he's like, no, just don't waste your fucking time on that shit. It's stupid. Now, every now and then you have dreams about things. The violence genuinely gets you nowhere. It really doesn't. All that violence does to you is gets you put behind bars, and like there's no point. There's just genuinely no point. You're just going to wind up. The other person, his life is miserable. That guy's life is genuinely miserable. I can't imagine getting a letter in the mail that says you failed to even have your bankruptcy get filed because you are such a screw up, in my opinion, that you don't even show up to court so that you're for your own bankruptcy filing. And you're reading this letter that says, yeah, I know you filed for bankruptcy, but you can't get it because you're such a screw up you didn't even show up to court for your own case. And then your house burns down. It's a funny coincidence, but like, and to be at the point where you're living in a house that you burn down, in my opinion, just guessing. No family, no ability to have a bank account, no reputation. But that's a really bad life. And the only thing that would come from beating up the contractor, as the chat suggests, is that my life would become equally miserable. Fuck that. No. We move forward. We move on and forward and create a great life for myself, a great life for the people at this company, and great service to all the customers that I have. We put up a couple of videos that say, hey, look, day 1, day 2, day 5, day 30. This is what they got done. Here's the contract, and here's what he has to say about, the work that he did. And life will sort itself out that way. Something tells me that he's likely going to have less customers when people can see the experience that people have with him. And something tells me that as long as I have the attitude of, all right, let's keep it moving. What do we do wrong here? Okay, learned. Next. Bam. That life will go better. And that's the way you really get someone back. Michael says, as a Jew, Jewish contractor is a bad idea. That's lame. That's just lame. Go away. I appreciate your $2, and I take your $2, and I send you out of my chat. That has no place here. Good luck with the store. Thank you, Mr. Penguin. Brian says, as a fellow boomer, I thought we were Gen X, but whatever. What are our plans to rape the younger generation? I believe that's Social Security. I was talking with my dad a while ago, and he had showed me this article, and it showed what people from his generation were paying into Social Security versus taking out of it on an average basis, and what was projected for people in my generation. It just made me want to cry. But we got to laugh over it, but yeah. And then afterwards, I realized it was reality. Kind of sad. Use TransferWise Part 2. I suggested they get another used phone. 2 days later, they said the rice worked. Now I know how gods were created and how people believe in them. That's sad. I want to apologize for irritating during your last AMA. I didn't intend for my message to come across trolling you, rooting for your business, and an easy move. I don't remember what your message was, and I'm sorry if I came off as aggravated at something I shouldn't have. I was likely on edge from obvious reasons. My apologies. I made a web app for the repair community. I love your input. If you're interested, please let me know. Yeah, send me an email, lewis@rossmanngroup.com. Just realize, again, when it comes to the there's quite a bit in that inbox at this point in time. Do you still see value in learning board repair without doing it as a business? I don't intend to start a shop, but as a technical person, I find this interesting and wonder if I can put it to some good use. It really depends. I think there's value in learning an analytical skill set. I certainly wouldn't spend money to do so unless you're making money at it. If you're not doing this and have a business that makes money, don't pay someone to learn this. That used to be one part of my questionnaire before I took students. So I used to take students for board repair, but I used to have a little questionnaire, and if you did not have a business, I didn't want to take you as a student. Some people snuck their way through and ignored that part, but it said, if you go on the Wayback Machine, you need to be involved doing this as a business. I don't want to do that kind of crap where I'm just like giving people the idea that every single human on earth is going to make money if they give me money. No, if you have a business that repairs these products and you already have a customer base built in, then this is a genuine way to add on to it. But I didn't like the idea of people coming to me with their last $5 or $100 or $1,000 in their pocket and giving it to me under the guise that that was what's going to make them rich. So, if you want to learn this on the side as a hobby and you think it's fun, then great. But don't force yourself to learn something that you don't want to learn. I was doing that with programming a while back, and it really wasn't healthy for me. New AMD motherboard lets a lot of electromagnetic interference to a good USB condenser microphone and speakers, causing lots of static and crackling and recording. If I get XLR capture in between, would it fix, or can the interference still pass through it? I'm not sure. I don't think so. I don't think you're going to get any of that interference with. Actually, wait, no. It depends on the power supply. Is this an interface that's powered by the USB port, or is this an interface that's powered by its own external power supply? I think that's going to determine whether or not you have more interference with it. Because obviously, if the USB bus has interference on it, and USB is what's providing your power, then that means that your interface is going to be getting that junk signal. But then again, an interface should expect it's powered by a computer, which is a noisy piece of shit, and have a way to filter that out. But then again, most interfaces are cheap, so good luck getting the best of engineering out of it. Wow, that guy paid $7 to advertise tampons. Indeed he did, and he got his money's worth. How optimistic are you for success now that lack of experience isn't a problem? I still lack experience. Just because I have experience getting fucked over once terribly doesn't mean that I'm now experienced. It simply means that I'm more cautious.
You have great life experience now. Now you know what to look for.
I think you're going to have issues with the ADA bathroom and the flooring. There is a limit for change in elevation. We'll see, and that's something that we're definitely going to work out. What happened with the Chinese restaurant place you visited first? Did the woman open? No. That was a fucking bargaining chip, and I called him on that shit. And that was when he said, yeah, I'm not going to give you a month off. We're not giving you any time off because someone else will rent this place. Okay, bye. Wait, we'll give you a month free. Bye. Wait, we'll give you 3 months free. Bye. Wait, we'll give you 6 months free. Wait, we'll give you $1,000 off of your rent and 6 months free. And guess what? If you go there, it's still available. It's like, I don't know. It's negotiating in bad faith. The sad thing is, I would have signed a lease for that restaurant months ago if the guy was just reasonable. Just reasonable. That's all it took. Just be reasonable. Your space needs a lot of maintenance. Come on. Come on. When are you moving to the new store? When it is done. When it's done. How would you deal with someone who's messy that you have to share a bathroom with? He's mostly nice, just doesn't care that he's being clean and pisses all over the toilet. Huh? I would move out. What? I would move out. I can't deal with that. Eugene likely doesn't have the money anymore, was gone within a week of cashing it. Yep, that's what I think, Demented Paintballer.
Do you guys hear that chewing? That's Oreo eating.
Best anime is Boku Pico? Huh? Interesting. I was asked how much to fix an iPhone from the toilet. They said they have it in rice. After a small laugh, I advised against it. Local prices for the same phone used was about the same I would have charged for the repair. I suggested they get another used phone. 2 days later, they said the rice worked. Now I know how gods were created and how people believe in them. I put my phone in the bathroom and I took a poop next to it, and 2 days later it worked. My poop fixes water damage! Yeah, correlation, causation. Correlation, causation. Kitty, pet the kitty, says Lethal One.
Okay.
Watching your channel for some time, what would be your best advice for a student? Cheers from Spain, donating only because message got lost in chat and not spamming. Sorry, it's hard to follow these how many chats there are. My best advice for a student. Don't get a degree in just the thing that you think would be nice to have or what you would like doing. Get a degree within a field where it's something that you could go to work every day and do on a regular basis. How do I explain this better? That was a crappy explanation.
Do something that you think you would enjoy doing long term.
It's not just do something that you would enjoy doing long term. Do something that you're actually good at. Because the thing is, people always say, do what you love, but you know what you love? The stuff that you're good at. Do you think that when I was a kid, when I was 16, I thought when I grow up I want to fix PP Bus G3 Hot? No. I wanted to record music. I wanted to do all this other cool shit. But the reality is I sucked at doing that. But I'm really good at this. And it feels good to solve puzzles. It feels good to do what you're good at. It feels good to be able to educate other people. It feels good to be able to take customers where they said my only option cost $2,000 or $1,000 and you fixed it for $200 and see the smile on their face. It feels good to hand people back their data. And it just feels good to be good at what you do. That feels good. Do you think that I genuinely enjoy running jumper wires on iPhone? Do you think that I enjoy reballing chips? No. I enjoy being able to see the end result and being able to realize that in some way I made the world a little less shitty. That's what I like. And a lot of people think that when they go to school, they should just go to school for what they want to do, or go to school for what someone else tells them to do, or go to school for what they think is cool. Figure out what it is that you're good at and what you think you're good at, and then go to school to make that better. But it also needs to be in a field that is, thank you, Elijah. It also needs to be in a field that actually is worthwhile. Don't spend $80,000 on a degree for something that's going to pay you $14 an hour. How long is Pinkson in town? until I get tired of this MacBook being in my home.
What?
Someday I will become tired of this MacBook in my home.
Wait, so you might get tired of this MacBook in your home?
Yep.
I found a solution to that. I can just upgrade to a newer MacBook. What do you think? Huh? Newer MacBook. Then you don't have to see this one. I can upgrade to a shinier one. They have a gold one and a pink one that I've seen. Shiny colors. I can put a case on it so you get this nice image. Another nice image.
You should make some In My Opinion merch, Lewis. Merlin says guys like Eugene get found in an alley with an ice pick in their neck. You can't just go around screwing people. Sooner or later, they screw the guy with the ice pick. Yeah, it's sad, but it's not just me. Like there are so many you could read on this stuff. Like so many court cases, just one after the other after the other. He said for 3 months he couldn't go to a client site because of snow in a driveway.
Between
I live
January
here.
and March, he was giving the excuse to the client. He says, I can't get my truck out of the driveway because of the snow.
That's bullshit. I live here. I know when there's snow and when there's not snow. Fuck off.
Can you imagine if you kept this guy on board?
The whole point of fight training is to have confidence in using the least amount of force possible in a situation you cannot avoid. Cute cats. Exactly, Kevin. That's the whole point. All the people that are actually well trained in that are very, very patient. They have their shit together. They're humble. And they don't just go doing stuff willy-nilly. Gave AGDQ all my money. Save or kill the animals. Save the animals. Tripcode is a YouTuber that makes ThinkPad and other tech videos. You were thinking of another person. Question, do you like Weezer and Arby's? I don't eat at Arby's because it's poison. I like some Weezer. Do you comment on how much your apartment cost? Looks large for New York. It cost around $1,600 when I moved in here, and I had a roommate at the time. And now I don't have a roommate, and because it's been over 10 years, it cost about $2,000. But like, I would not be able to afford this in Manhattan. I actually met somebody at this place called Brain Food a bit back in Brooklyn, and he goes, "Oh wow, you live in the area? I thought you lived in Manhattan." It's like, yeah, you think people from YouTube make a lot more than they do? It's like, you fucking kidding me? Do you know what this would cost in Manhattan? 4 years ago, I was walking around and I saw an open house and there was a place this size, and I walked in just out of curiosity, and it was $8,700. 4 years ago, it's my size of this apartment, $8,700. The reason this is as cheap as it is because when I moved here, there'd be bullets flying around on a regular basis at the end of the day.
Bullets?
You didn't hear that. It's much better now, girl.
Yeah. You know, I had a talk with Steve.
Have you had an exposure to Army products?
He was
Opinion.
saying how this neighborhood is super dangerous. And I was like,
Oh, it's fine.
yeah, I'm not scared at all here.
I think Army makes some good stuff.
Can you move the mic?
Maybe. I have a lot of stuff to read. I'm behind by about 10 minutes. I'm going to start reading backwards.
Okay.
What do you think about the amount of people who watch you for the sake of listening to your thoughts and people who don't know anything about computers? I really think it outnumbers the people who care about everything else. I get so many comments saying, I can't believe you didn't do border pair videos. You stopped doing border pair videos. Your channel's going to go to shit because you stopped doing border pair videos. And it's just interesting because A, I haven't. It's just that I was doing one every 2 days, not one every 5 seconds. And B, it's clearly not the case because the lowest viewership of the worst rated stuff on my channel by far is actual border pair content. And I've embraced not caring about that anymore. Like, I've embraced the fact that I can't control what people show up for, and I just don't care. When I do 2 or 3 videos in a row that have nothing to do with border pair, and I get a comment section filled of, I can't believe you abandoned border pair, I don't care.
Hey, can I show you something really cool?
I'm behind 10 minutes.
Okay.
Put this towards GoFundMe for Erica's new MacBook. Mark, why couldn't you use Streamlabs? Because on YouTube, I can't refund you. I would not put $10 towards a MacBook.
Why not?
What are the odds that a 2 terabyte, 2.5-inch touch Seagate that doesn't spin can be recovered? Very good if you haven't opened it yourself. Beyond fixable if you did. Steve is killing those Rosewoods. Just one after the other after the other. If it wasn't for Seagate Rosewood drives, Eugene might have just bankrupted me. Jeremy says Eugene's the kind of person who would commit suicide because they got themselves in so much trouble they won't know how to get out anymore. It's sad. It really is. Like, I would honestly be curious, like, aside from the aggravation that I have towards him because he took $33,000 of my money and provided lots of garbage, I'm genuinely curious what happened in his life to turn him from someone that did good work into a total scammer, in my opinion. Like, what happened? What happened for you to get to the point where you have lists of people trying to sue you? What happened to get you to a point where people said you did amazing work and referred you to, I'm going to lie about there being snow in the driveway for 3 months just to avoid going to work after someone's given me over $60,000 out of $120,000 to do a job? I'm really curious. And I'm sure there's some sort of thing there where I would be able to sympathize and empathize, and I really wish that the world was such that we were able to help, that people were able to help each other and get him to a point where that's not who he is. Because if the world were that type of place, then I wouldn't have gotten ripped off.
By the way, how many of you guys read about the Lerner case, the one with Eugene and the
Seeing the eyes of Lewis, the serial killer. Step 1 to affordable college, don't go to a school for its reputation. Bingo. I have a cousin that went to a school that cost over $160,000, and my uncle at one point was asking if I had any entry-level positions available at the store. It's just, I used to feel really bad that I didn't go to college. Nope, not anymore. You focus on MacBook repair, not iPhone repair, so you don't compete with Jessa. No, I focus on MacBook repair because nobody wants to pay me for iPhone repairs. How much to fix no backlight? $90. $90! I got it! Let Jess's customer service department deal with that. Does this mean Lewis fixed Erica's MacBook? Unfortunately. Erica, please tickle Lewis. How do you feel about what Brenner said about asking company to tear wood for free, taking wood with them as their fee? You think that affects their estimation? I don't think so, and I honestly like the fact that he's looking for solutions to problems in a pragmatic way. I appreciate that about him. He's not looking to rip me off. Don't fall for that, Lewis. What's that? I don't know what that is. If you want to see that MacBook fly out down 100 feet to the street. Cat treat, says Adam.
What?
I kill you. You don't enjoy running jumper wires? Hell no. Where were you when the 9/11 attacks happened? Mr. Brown's gym class in 7th grade at IS-24. Sony says, never forget she's not your girl, it's just your turn. A MGTOW, I see. You're a MGTOW. Super MGTOW. I think Eric is more of a MGTOW than I could ever be, which is strange because of the first letter of that acronym. How does it feel to be a Dark Souls boss against Apple? I've never played Dark Souls, so I don't know. Have you talked to the person who referred you to Eugene about this whole mess? Yes. He said, oh, wow. Oh, that sucks. I guess there's one class of contractors for people that have $250,000 and the rest of us just have to pick up the scraps in a joking manner. It is what it is. I take responsibility for listening to your referral. You don't have to take any responsibility for your referral. I'll take responsibility for being stupid enough to take your referral seriously. I liked him. We got along. But even his business partner used to say that he was bad at business, and I just thought that was because they were salty at each other. But now I'm kind of starting to understand it more in context. But whatever. Water under the bridge. Water under the bridge. Eugene Harrington's ghost says, "Can I come back and fix your bathroom, Lewis?" The way I see it is this. I paid $30,000 for the rights to a television show. If I see it that way, it's not that terrible. It's framing.
You have to see this.
I just created an animated store design for you, 30-second video on my channel, and was inspired by the free one you received.
It's really amazing.
Okay, 1 second.
This thing is amazing, you guys. You have to see it. Videos. Can anyone save it?
1 second. Erica. 1 second, Erica.
It's
I think those things have to be mounted above the desks, not on the desk. It takes up a lot of space that way, those slots. A little warehousey. I don't get the green with the gray either. But it's cool. I didn't know you could 3D model stuff like this.
That's amazing.
I thought that was just, yeah. I have no idea how the hell you model shit like that. That's awesome. It's awesome that you could do stuff like that. That's really cool. Thank you, Finn. That looks really cool, Finn.
I know.
Send me an email if you can. We tweaked that a little bit. We can make it something good. Can you do the Eugene impression again, please? It's not finished yet. When I finish, you can judge it. That's the best. Can you do the Eugene impression again, please? It's not finished yet. When I say it's done, you can look at it and walk through and see that the floor doesn't creak. When I say it's done, it's done. I'm gonna get to the bathroom. I'll cover the bathroom. Right after I go bankrupt again.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe burn down my house a little bit. In my opinion. Well, Lewis's opinion, technically, because I'm Eugene. I paid this guy $650 for that door. I paid him $550 to stay that night. He stayed late, but there was a noise complaint, so he had to go. I paid that guy $550. That door was $600, that door. That was industrial. You go to Bravo Pizza, you could see the job I did for them. Probably had my employee fix it after I got fired off the job because I fucked it up like I fuck up every other one. Have a bad hard drive plugged in. Wrong adapter. Chances. Have a bad hard drive plugged in, bad adapter chances. I don't understand that sentence. I'm very sorry. I am sorry. I wanted to answer that, but I don't understand the sentence. If Eugene made it any nicer, you couldn't afford it. Yeah, for fucking South Shore, Staten Island. I'm South Shore, Staten Island. From fucking Bay Street. I paid that guy $600. That's the same as I paid for the fucking check cashing fee because I can't deposit shit in the bank because I have 10 fucking years of scamming people. 10 fucking years of scamming people. I can't even get a bank account. $600. I didn't pay $600 for that door. I paid $60 for that door at Home Depot because I had to spend $600 to fucking check cash in place to cash my check because criminals can't have a fucking bank account. Now I gotta hear this fucking guy as his girlfriend come by, walk on the floor and say it fucking creaks. It's not fucking done, Erica. When I say the fucking floor is done, you can look and walk on the floor.
Okay, it all went downhill for Eugene after I checked out the store. So I went on December 27th to the store, and I know this because this is the day he lost his mic. And we were stepping on the floor, and I'm about 110 pounds, and I noticed the floor was creaking. So I pointed out to him, I said, hey, you guys got to get this fixed because if it's creaking when I'm walking on it, imagine how much it's going to creak when you have 13 people walking back and forth throughout the day. That's when Eugene's house of cards, in my opinion, started crumbling.
Headphone alert. 3, 2, 1. Mic is now in Omni mode. paid that guy $300 fucking to put that door in. Do it again, woman!
Hello, welcome.
Are you getting any kind of refund? No. The way I consider it, the money I gave him is rights to the television show about the experience. Al Bundy started MGTOW. You may like Unhappily Ever After. Unhappily Ever After was a spin-off of Married with Children. It was pretty interesting. It's not finished yet. When I finish it, you can judge. When I say it's done, you can walk in there and see it. But if I even said it's done, it's not done. I nail things down before they're done. I screw shit in before it's done. I will take your money before it's done. But just because I took your money and nailed it down doesn't mean it's done.
Deep breaths.
That's not
deep
tickling.
breaths. Deep breaths. Release the Eugene within you.
You tickle me, I'll fucking bury you in the East River.
Hello, welcome.
Best way to learn board repair is a hobby. Best way to learn board repair as a hobby is buy stuff that's at least 10 years old, so that you buy 2 or 3 machines that are 10 years old, have a known good one, and then have a dead one, and then have a third one that's known good, but you know all the parts are good, so you can transfer from one to the other.
Hello, welcome.
So that's what you're going to do. You're going to have a known good, so you can make all your measurements. This is how this is supposed to be. This is when the signal's supposed to show up. This is what the resistance to ground is supposed to be on this part of this circuit. That you need that. Second thing you need is a dead one to work on, and the third you need is a donor parts one that also works. It's really old, so you're not going to pay much for it, because if you're working on like an A1181, then you can buy those things for $25-$30 in working condition. So for $100, you can get yourself a total starter kit, and that's what you want to do, something like that. But don't work on client devices.
Hello,
What's the best
welcome.
pizza you ever had? Pizza sucks. Pizza's garbage.
I can't remember off the top of my head what the best pizza I've ever had is.
The least shitty is Artichoke Pizza on 1st Avenue and 14th Street.
Ooh, we should try it. I've never tried that.
If Eugene made it any nicer, you couldn't afford it. You fucking tickle me, woman. You fucking tickle me. I will do to your face what I did to Lewis's bank account. I will fuck you up. You fucking tickle me. Dude spent at most $5,000 on materials and barely made $1K. I worked for a guy like him 3 years ago. I quit and never got paid. Yep.
Hey, someone said Eugene came out of retirement for this job. Can you turn the volume down a little for the Streamlabs donation?
Oh yeah, I turned it up for that video and I forgot to turn it back down
Yeah,
after.
people are gonna
My
be
bad.
like, ugh.
Barbecue sauce, chicken, jalapenos, and pizza. That's where the good stuff is at.
What's everyone's favorite pizza? Let me know. If anyone's in New York, let me know what's a really good pizza.
Pizza is shit in general. It's cheese. It's cheese on top of bread. It's garbage. Rubbish.
I do like Domino's. I do. Mercy, I'm gonna get thrown off the couch if I listen to you. What? I'm not even tickling you.
And I can't trust you while I'm
You
picking it
can't
up.
trust me.
Nope.
How
I
can
see
you
what people are writing here.
how can you not trust me, but you trusted Eugene so openly, huh?
That's a low blow, woman. You know why?
Why?
You know why I can trust Eugene more than I can trust you?
Why?
He doesn't use Apple products.
Oh, jeez.
What's the make and model of that mic stand? I have no idea, honestly. I think someone gave me this thing for free.
Well, someone wants to know what mouse you have. It's an MP150 or something like that, right?
M570 trackball. Eugene made $3K in 3 weeks. Criminal mastermind. Kind of. The door was $40. The labor was $60. $500 to bribe the noise complainer. Lewis needs to be tickled by surprise.
I'm gonna get thrown off the couch, you guys. You're gonna hear us.
Do you ever regret revolving your business in YouTube since your information is so public, or the positives outweighing the negatives? I think I could have done every single video I did without revealing my name or my face.
Eugene Krabs. I remember that.
I think I could have done everything I did now without revealing my name or my face. I think it's possible.
No.
For a hobby, thank you. What equipment do I need? I don't have so much as a Radio Shack iron, let alone a quick or a hot air station or microscope. Get yourself a used quick hot air station, whatever you can get your hands on, as long as it can blow more than 25 liters a minute. Get yourself a TS100 soldering iron, a fan in the window to exhaust the solder and get to work, really. Have you ever been to Arthur Avenue in the Bronx? Not in a long time. Author or Arthur? Huh. Okay, time to read through more stuff. What are your thoughts on Hackintoshes? I made one because there was certain software I needed to run that only worked on a Mac that used the CPU intensely, and I did not want to spend $6,000 when I could spend $1,300 and get the same amount of CPU. I didn't need a GPU, I didn't need a lot of storage, I didn't need any other fancy stuff, just needed a fast CPU. And there was a lot of shit that made it a pain in the ass. Like SATA not being hot swappable half of the time, but the other half of the time it was. And like if I really needed a Mac and I was a Mac user, I would just buy a Mac. I've been getting into tech and electronics thanks to your channel. We're still short on money for tools to practice. Any advice? Get used stuff. What you need to do is get used stuff, or figure out how to, like this is saying in the music industry, beg, borrow, or steal. Don't steal, but beg and borrow. You know, see if you can get access to someone else's tools. What are other people throwing away? I've realized high school is a waste of time. It sure is. I'm not sure what I want to do, but I have things I am doing now. I have worked tech part-time over 2 years. What can I do to buy running time? Quitting school. What can I do to buy running time? Okay, I don't know what buy running time means. Quitting school has social stigma also from parents. What you want to do is I put the minimum effort into high school as imaginable and put the rest of the effort into learning things I cared to learn about so that my brain wouldn't rot. Because my brain would rot if I put a lot of effort into high school. Memorizing useless trivia and other rubbish. Not quite sure. There. Alright, so this thing's dinging like crazy, so that means I'm missing a bunch of stuff. So let's catch up here. Theo says, hard drive stopped working after plugging in the wrong AC adapter. Haven't tried to fix because the data is precious for trust with any old tech. I mean, send it in. It's in good hands with Steve. What I can tell you, honestly, there's a queue, but there are places that didn't want to touch my drive for less than $4,000, and Steve got my data back. And I'm happy with that because I'm a cheapskate. And, you know, for a client, he would have done that job in the 600 to 900 area. But I'm happy because I would have paid $4,000 to $6,000 somewhere else before we actually started doing it. I'm happy that I left it, and he was able to get the data off like a pro. I waited for it. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're a paying customer, you're not going to wait as long as I was. I was waiting 14 months for this shit. You're probably going to be waiting max 3 months, but still, you'll save some money. The fact that the guy's name was Eugene should have tipped you off. Do you know who else was named Eugene? The cheap bastard from SpongeBob SquarePants.
Eugene Krabs.
I never watched SpongeBob. I never watched SpongeBob. Just go to Little Italy and pay someone. No, that's nonsense. Do a Joe Pesci impression. I honestly don't have it. Marseille says behind the earlobe. No. What's the make and model of that mic stand? I don't know because I think I either got this from the garbage or someone gave it to me. What's the best pizza? Ugh. Listen to the bell, Eugene. It tolls for thee. Karma. Lewis, please hire an exorcist. Eugene has possessed you. I assume that means people like my impression. The door... Alright. None of this tickling rubbish. Tone says great Joe Pesci impression. Thank you. If Eugene made it any nicer, you couldn't afford it. Indeed. Have a bad drive. Plugged in wrong adapter. Okay, now I get it. I thought I was being a dumbass. Yeah, so fairly good, honestly. You most likely destroyed the PCB or maybe something I don't think you destroyed the platter or any of the data that's in the platter. There's a good chance of getting your stuff. Sell scrap wood from the new store with F Eugene. Honestly, that is tempting. Rent is real cheap in the South Bronx, is AD. Is it? Is anything cheap in New York anymore? I think in the next 10 years, we're going to see where East New York and Brownsville become unaffordable. Because the last places left, like in the beginning, it was Bushwick, then Bushwick was not affordable, then Bed-Stuy, now Bed-Stuy is becoming not affordable, and like East New York and Brownsville. I think in the next 10 years, East New York and Brownsville are actually not going to be affordable anymore. Either that or the opposite occurs and everybody just flows out of New York City entirely because they're sick of this shit and everything in New York comes affordable because nobody wants to live here.
I doubt that's going to happen.
Eventually. What do you think of the amount of people who watch you just for the sake of listening? Okay, I think I read that. I have caught up. Erica, please tickle Lewis. This person who can't spell your name right wants terrible things to happen to you.
I don't want to get pushed off the couch, you guys.
When do we get an apartment reveal? I've read
You
that.
guys already have seen the apartment.
Seen it. It's
If you
nothing
look
special.
Look at the cat videos on the
You
random
both-
live channel. You can see.
You both look like you have cat hats. Clinton? Clinton? Oh, he's quiet now. My dad got me a 2019 MacBook Pro for my birthday. What things should I do to make it last as long as possible and avoid all the common flaws? Well, one of the things you could do to make it last long and avoid the common flaws, no liquid, no dropping it. Don't use it. Don't turn it on. Sell it. No, seriously, those don't have the FlexGate issue. They don't have the bad SSDs that the older ones have. They don't have. You have the butterfly keyboard, so one thing you could do is not type on it. I would suggest using an external keyboard. I made a funny video featuring your adventures with Eugene.
Yeah, no,
Link in
it's
the
only a
comments and
minute
emailing
long.
it to
Do
you.
you want to see it?
I actually do. Yeah, where do I find
Okay.
this?
Look at the channel.
Oh, his channel.
Scott.
Abbott.
Scott. That one. You guys want to see the video? We'll show it to you guys.
Oh, and hopefully this is...
I did a quick preview of it. Videos.
One sec. Raising that.
That one.
Alright.
Hello, welcome.
Okay, you guys get to see it.
Hello, welcome.
You guys started with plywood.
Sure thing, Brian. One moment.
Hello, welcome.
You guys started with plywood, as you know, obviously, and then transitioned to OSB. Usually I do all OSB, but OSB.
Oh crap! Oh man!
There we go.
Hello, welcome.
I'm gonna have to fire you, Eugene. You're interrupting me again.
Just hang up and just fire.
Don't interrupt me, because you're gonna try to do it again, 'cause I'm not interrupting. That's the definition of a cuck corner. Look at this.
Doing whatever he's been doing long enough. No creaking. Gaslighting scumbag. No, you're a gaslighter. You're gaslighting, you interrupt, you scam, you lie, you cheat, you bullshit. And you're never doing it again!
Okay, don't shout at me.
Next.
You fail.
Hello, welcome.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's not it's actually real life. This is the definition of cut corner.
That was fun. That was thoroughly enjoyable.
Hey, look, Eugene is in the chat.
That was thoroughly enjoyable. I'd like to talk to you again about not drinking. Email lewis@rossmangroup.com. But there's just a long line there, I'm afraid. When was the last time you got mugged? There was an attempted mugging in 2010. I got owned by a glass bottle right over there. You could see, I don't know if you could see it on camera, but there's a little scar over there from me failing to block properly. Lesson learned. I still had all my... I walked away with all my stuff, and I didn't walk away on the floor. I walked away bleeding, but I didn't walk away on the floor. I actually wound up walking over to the Duane Reade that is on Nostrand and Myrtle Avenue, and on... Yeah, I walked away to the place on Nostrand and Myrtle Avenue, and I walked into this Duane Reade, and I was bleeding like crazy, and I said, do you guys happen to have a Band-Aid? I just want to buy a Band-Aid. And there's like blood dripping all over the Duane Reade, and the lady's like, oh my God. And like, no, I don't need a place. I just want a Band-Aid. And the lady actually wound up cleaning me up, iodine, all sorts of stuff. It gave me this really nice bandage, wrapped it and
Aw.
everything. But yeah, so like, I mean, I don't think anybody really won that. I got to keep my stuff. The person that like had the broken bottle when we were in the middle of the fight was on the floor, but the person that was on the floor was not cut. I was still standing, but I was bleeding out the side of my arm. That sucked. And then there was one person, I remember I was almost falling asleep. It was like 4:30 in the morning, and I looked at my phone, and I was like standing there like this. And then somebody on a bike grabbed a headphone wire. They were on a bike, not even my phone or my headphones. They just grabbed the wire. They had their arm out like this and just grabbed it and just went away. Like, there wasn't even a fight. There wasn't a me wait. Like, by the time I woke up, the shit was gone. But that was that.
Myrtle Avenue used to be called Murder Avenue. Ah!
By running time, I meant I'll need to go living fully independent because of the stigma. I still have lots to learn. Would rather make mistakes while doing so is easy. Huh. Go to sleep, Lewis. Tomorrow is Monday, work day. Yes. I'm kind of hungry. I gotta get some food and go to sleep. What are your thoughts on... I answered that one. Is it really Eugene? There can only be one Eugene. Does anyone need a contract when we do wood flooring? Oh, this meme is never gonna die.
Don't get Eugened, you guys.
Don't get Eugened.
Whenever you have a important financial decision to make, do your homework. Don't be Eugened.
Sell the OSB back to Eugene for his next scam, someone said. Axe throwing, but with MacBook shell and hollow door.
You want some ravioli?
Sure. Okay. Thank you, Eric. Garlicky?
Huh?
Garlicky?
Depends how I feel.
I tickle you.
What? No.
If no garlic, then I tickle. I take out my tickle monster. School isn't useless. It teaches you work ethic and how to learn. Now, in my case, it taught kids that reading sucked and that they hated learning. I'm never going to forget in the back of one of my class, it was in 11th grade, this one kid said, I can't wait to get out of school so I don't have to learn things, so I'm just done learning. And it just made the teacher sick because he was one of the good ones, but it made me kind of sick too because I'm thinking of it. And you had everybody in the class agreeing with you that you don't want to learn. Great job, school system. You got a bunch of kids to think that learning sucks, that they actually don't want to learn because it's associated with the misery of memorizing useless trivia and writing it down. Just fucking useless. It's not a representation of the real world. How often in the real world are you going to be in a room with 30 people that are the same age as you, that are all forced to listen and take orders from and memorize a bunch of information that one individual gives you who's 20 to 30 years your senior, who has the ability to tell you whether or not you're allowed to go to the bathroom?
How much do you actually remember from grade school and high school?
I remember a lot of the fucking crap that they wasted our time on.
I feel like all I really need to know is how to read, write, math. That's it. Add and subtract, multiply and divide, or use a calculator.
We spent more time on the Navajo, Hopi, and Apache Indians and just memorizing the names of them than I think I've spent discussing the one-wire circuit.
Yeah, that's the thing I didn't like about history. The thing about
They make it boring.
you know,
You memorize.
They have you memorize certain dates and specific figures, and I'm not gonna remember that. You know. And
Yeah, you don't actually really learn the... Here's what occurred that led up to this. Here were the tensions at the time, and here's how they erupted culturally that caused this conflict to occur. Because trying to get students to explain that, that's not something you can grade on a Scantron. What you can grade on a Scantron is, like, what year was the War of 1812 fought? What was the name of this...
1812.
What was the name of this general? What country was involved in this conflict? It's like... It actually gets people to find things miserable that they shouldn't. Anyway, it's been about almost 2 hours, so it's about time for me to get out of here, get on with the rest of my day, my life. I think I've given out my email about 10 times, and it looks like my unread email list has jumped up to over 900. So I'm going to get back to answering these before people start to get pissed off, and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you very much, and see you later. That's BlackBerry.